Top 3 Boston Dynamics most amazing robots. Are you ready to peep into the future? Well, Boston Dynamics is always here to serve you in that purpose. Robots are something that never fails to amaze us. If it comes from Boston Dynamics, expectations naturally touch the sky. So, curious to know about their robotic projects in detail? Stick around till the end of the video. Then, today we are going to discuss the top 3 Boston Dynamics' most amazing robots. So watch this video till the end. Hello and welcome back to the AI universe. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to never miss an update on the new things we bring for you regarding the tech and the trends, but also the vital difference between the haves and the have-nots. So without further delay, let's dive into today's topic. Before the world's marketing teams got their hands on the word artificial intelligence, Boston Dynamics conjured up images of robots. Boston Dynamics is likely the most well-known robotics business, owing in large part to viral footage of their robots in action. Boston Dynamics' CEO, Marc Raibert, recently expressed some major information about their projects. Raibert spoke at the conference about 3 robots that Boston Dynamics is presently working on, categorizing them as follows: today's robot, Spot; robot of tomorrow, Handle; and the future, Atlas. He also talked about existing clients, possible uses, AI, simulation, and of course, those popular videos in our conversation. Number 3. Spot. For this one, Raibert alludes to a period that will last for the next year or so. Because it's currently delivering to early adopters, Spot is today's robot. It's just been on the market for roughly 6 weeks. The Spot is intended to be a platform, with Raibert referring to it as the Android of robots, on several occasions. Spot is not an end-user application robot, Raibert stated. Users may add hardware payloads as well as software that communicates with Spot via its API. Raibert's primary motivation for attending Web Summit was to encourage others to work on Spot hardware and software. Spot has an arm, a Spectrum radio, cameras, and LiDARs from Boston Dynamics, but other businesses are working on their sensors. The Spot we're talking about is the Spot Mini, which is a little version of the Spot. When it succeeded its larger, bigger sibling Spot, it was renamed. At the moment, they're not doing anything with it. Spot can move up and down stairs by detecting railings and steps with obstacle detection cameras. It also features a self-navigation system that allows it to cross different terrains. Spot can be piloted by a human, but the onboard computers control the legs and balance. Spot moves at a pace of around 3 miles per hour, which is comparable to human walking speed. It features cameras on the front, rear, and sides to aid navigation, autonomous travel, and omnidirectional movement. Slow, walking, sprinting, and even show-off gaits are available, as well as the ability to turn in place and a chicken head option. This indicates it can divorce the motions of its hand from the rest of its body, similar to how many animals can stabilize one portion of their body while the rest moves. Boston Dynamics intends to build 1,000 Spot robots, and several have already left the factory. By mid-2020, the business intends to have completed the construction of 1,000 units. Raibert, co-founder and CEO, explains, "It's generally not one, it's usually a pair. Boston Dynamics is not currently selling Spots. I believe this is the very early adopter moment for the Spot robot business," he says. Customers are presently leasing Spot robots for a few $1,000s each month. According to Boston Dynamics co-founder Marc Raibert, "We'll eventually start selling them entirely, but for now we're leasing them." He didn't want to say how much a Spot robot may cost if they were to sell one today. Boston Dynamics unveiled the newest version of its Spot software last week, with an emphasis on autonomous navigation. Spot, Boston Dynamics' robot arm, is being offered to enterprises as a mobile manipulation platform. The company's robots are designed to complete duties that people will not, should not, or unable to complete. As a result, Boston Dynamics will be able to secure its intellectual property while also ensuring the safety of its robots away from people. It also implies Spot may be put to better use in the corporate world. Spot robots from Boston Dynamics are being dispatched all around the world to collect data and perform inspections. A warehouse, building site, or industrial facility are the most likely places to find a Spot. Spot's previous jobs include a British petroleum oil refinery, a National Grid electricity distribution facility, and a Fujita building site. In addition, the business is collaborating with Cirque du Soleil to see how people and robots might collaborate in shows. "We're only doing a limited amount of work with police agencies on hazmat and bomb squad type things," says Boston Dynamics co-founder Raibert. The police force finds remote operations particularly valuable since, aside from mobility, they are unconcerned with the autonomy of the robots. The first big dog was a quadruped robot created by Boston Dynamics for the US military. Number 2. Handle. Because it is still at the prototype stage, Handle is the robot for the near future, a vision system used by the cardboard box logistics robot to detect pallets and identify the box it requires among other boxes. We have a robot in the works that is geared to work in warehouses in around 18 months, Raibert told Venturebeat. Every year, roughly 1 trillion cardboard boxes are delivered throughout the world. This is a rough estimate, depending on the volume of the shipment. These items are loaded onto trucks, unloaded from trucks, stacked in pallets, blended from single SKU pallets to multi-SKU pallets, reloaded onto trucks, delivered to retail outlets, unpacked and sold. The majority of cardboard box work is done by hand. It's exhausting, monotonous, and unappealing labor. With their mobile manipulation robot, Boston Dynamics sees a great possibility to automate this activity. The Handle is the mobile counterpart of Pick. For people who are familiar with Boston Dynamics, they're also shipping Pick, which they don't talk about much. It's all in one place, engineered to depalletize, and they'll be palletizing in no time. They are now both using the same visual systems. The Handle is on the way, but Spot remains the center of attention. When Raibert was asked how much of the company's work was devoted to Spot, he responded around half of it. However, the focus will swiftly move to Handle. "I believe our primary focus is on Spot," Raibert stated. "We're making it outdoors, but we're in charge of the entire process. It's the first time they've produced something on a larger scale than 5. So everything was a prototype previously. Making 1,000, as he mentioned, involves a lot of work. So it's a completely new beast. The goal is for Handle, which is a year and a half away, to produce it using the people and skill set we've gained from Spot." Boston Dynamics wants to create robots with a variety of sensing, actuation, and planning systems in the future. Number 1. Atlas. For Raibert, future denotes constant evolution. Atlas is regarded as the future robot since it is always in the prototype stage. So will Atlas ever be released? Raibert said, to be honest, Handle was Atlas's offspring. He was also asked, well, what would be a more efficient, less expensive method of doing this? As a result, he mentioned that you must see Handle through the appropriate lens. It's similar to the humanoid Atlas, but it's considerably simpler, with fewer degrees of freedom, so it can be made for less money. It may be quicker, and they're working on a more productized version of Handle. Atlas is costly and difficult to maintain, and it needs a team of experts to keep it running. Nonetheless, it outperforms everything else the firm has procured. Atlas is Boston Dynamics' research initiative, in which the business researches new technology before incorporating part of it into its product. I consider it our race vehicle. All of the major automobile manufacturers have racing teams, and they seem to elicit a lot of interest. They are the inventors of innovative technologies. They're rather pricey. They're a little picky. Atlas is what it is, Raibert explained. Atlas is used by Boston Dynamics to create learning and optimization strategies for regulating complicated behavior, as well as novel hardware techniques. Boston Dynamics has spent exactly as much time designing specialist hardware as it has developing customized software for Atlas. The newest version of the 165-pound humanoid robot has a hydraulic power unit that weighs around 5 kilograms and can generate 5 kilowatts of electricity while the robot is in use. It also features a 3D printed leg with hydraulic routes, actuator boards, valve placement, space frames, manifolds, and other special lightweight components. Boston Dynamics has lately experimented with having Atlas execute simple gymnastic exercises. Raibert noted that the purpose is to evaluate quick behavior development optimization approaches and machine learning. Raibert divides AI into 2 categories, both of which are significant to his company. Athletic AI is the same technology that allows us to control our bodies like stand, walk, climb, maneuver around obstacles, and so on. Scholarly AI is similar to what happens when humans plan ahead of time in our thoughts to figure out what time we need to leave the house to get to work. Boston Dynamics is mostly concerned with the former. We're a little bit of an expert in the field of sports AI. It suggests that humans and animals are adept at monitoring and managing their bodies' energy use, according to Raibert. There's another type of AI in which you formulate ideas and then carry them out, working at a high level, where the world has been abstracted, is currently the bulk of AI. We put a lot of emphasis on the athletic aspect, he explains. Raibert of Boston Dynamics. We conduct a lot of simulation work. It's always a blend of practical testing on real robots and simulation for the kinds of physical activities we perform. Because simulation is faster and less expensive than training robots in the actual world, it saves money. Less experienced people can make progress in simulation before they've mastered all of the necessary abilities. As you can see, being the true flag bearer and the connoisseur of robotics, these are the best of Boston Dynamics to serve mankind today, tomorrow, and in the future. So let us know in the comments box which one of them interests you the most. That's it for the day, guys. We hope you have enjoyed the video. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to our channel for such interesting topics. And we'll catch you in the next one. Until then, peace.